Hi, I'm Cindy, and this is the Community Effect Podcast. On this show, we talk about all things teaching and learning, from building authentic relationships to creating a classroom culture where students thrive. We dig into mindset, motivation, engagement, and behavior, because real classroom success isn't just about lesson plans. It's about the community you build. These are conversations for teachers who want more than to just survive. And these are strategies for educators who are ready to take their community to the next level. This is the Community Effect Podcast. Hey there, and welcome to the Community Effect Podcast. Today's episode kicks off a special 4-part mindset series where we're diving into the thinking habits that not only reduce teacher stress, but dramatically improve classroom impact. This series is all about reclaiming your purpose, building clarity, and anchoring yourself in mindset shifts that create strong, sustainable classroom communities. And if you've ever felt like you're working nonstop and still questioning whether it's enough, this is where we start to shift that. And we're starting with the mindset shift that changed everything for me, and I think it will for you too. So let's talk honestly for a minute, because we know teaching is tough. And some days you wake up energized and you're ready to make a difference, and before you even finish your morning coffee, you are facing challenges. And it can feel like you're caught in a constant motion, right? These waves of behavior issues or pressure from meetings, interruptions. You're doing everything you can to keep the class afloat, but you're barely keeping your own head above water. And trust me, you are not alone. I know that feeling. I've been there many, many times before, and you are not failing. That feeling is often the result of disconnection from your impact. When the noise around you drowns out the reason that you started teaching in the first place, that becomes survival mode. But what if you could find solid ground again? Not through another new system, but by just shifting the way you see your role. That's what this episode and this series is all about. The mindset that pulls you out of survival mode and brings you back to clarity. And it's called the impact-focused mindset. So what exactly is an impact-focused mindset? It's a simple yet powerful shift. Instead of viewing yourself as someone who's constantly putting out fires, you start to see yourself as a proactive evaluator of your own impact. You move from asking, why aren't these kids getting it, to what can I do differently to help them succeed? When you adopt an impact-focused mindset, you set the tone for your entire classroom community. You're not just reducing stress, you're creating this ripple effect that positively impacts your students' behaviors, their learning, and your relationships with them. I am an evaluator of my impact. That's the mindset we're talking about. John Hattie's research is some of the most extensive in education, and his research was based on over 800 meta-analysis covering millions of students, and he identified the most effective influences on student achievement. But he didn't stop at strategies. He found that the most effective teachers, they think differently. They operate from what he calls the 10 mind frames for visible learning. Habits of mind that shape how teachers approach everything from planning to relationships to student feedback. But you know what else he found? It's not just what we teach. It's how we think about our teaching that makes a difference. Teachers who regularly reflect on the impact of their teaching, not just their effort or their intention, consistently see better outcomes for their students and experience less burnout themselves. Research backs this up. Teachers who adopt an impact-focused mindset report significantly lower levels of burnout. Why? They become proactive instead of reactive. They stop tying their worth to how much they get done, and then they start tying it to the effect that they're having on their students' learning. And they stop trying to control every external factor and start focusing on what they can influence the most: their own thinking, their decisions, and their relationships. So today I want to introduce you to 3 of Hattie's 10 mind frames, and we're going to explore those more in depth as we go through the series. So the 3 we're going to talk about today are: I evaluate the effect on my teaching on student learning, I see assessment as feedback about my impact, and then I collaborate to increase my impact. Each of these isn't just a strategy, it's a belief system that shapes how you teach, respond, reflect, and grow. So let's take a quick look at each one of them. So the first one talks about basically learning versus teaching. This is our anchor mindset. It means asking yourself, what did my students actually learn today? How do I know? What worked? What didn't? And what do I need to do differently tomorrow? It's a shift from did I teach it to did they learn it? Here's a real life example. I used to end the day asking, did I get through the lesson? And now I ask, what did students actually take away from my lesson? That tiny shift has helped me spot gaps faster and adjust more effectively with my students. Instead of judging yourself, it's about observing with curiosity. And we're going to go deeper on this one in our next episode. The second one is seeing assessment as feedback. Now, this one's about shifting your relationship with assessment. It's not about judging your students or yourself. It's about gathering information. For example, after a math lesson, I gave a quick exit slip. Half of the class missed the key concept. Instead of pushing forward, I circled back the next day with hands-on practice. Assessment didn't derail me, it guided me. It helped me course correct for my students. Think about a student who scores low on a writing rubric. Rather than thinking they're just not getting it, you ask, what's the next move to support their growth? Use that feedback to tweak the instruction, provide scaffolds, or to check for understanding more frequently. When we use assessment as feedback, we're teaching more responsively. And then the third one is collaborating to increase your impact. This one is often underestimated, but it is essential. This mindset is about believing that you don't have to do it all alone. So, for example, when I co-planned with a teammate for a unit on the California missions, we shared ideas, we reflected daily, we supported each other's growth, and the impact on our students and our own practice was undeniable. We'll explore this further in the last episode of this series. So here are a few questions to think about as you start shifting your mindset. What does impact mean to me? Am I focused on my intention or my effect? And where might reflection create more clarity and purpose in my teaching? The impact-focused mindset is the root of all sustainable teaching. It centers your attention around what matters most, and it helps you let go of the noise that drains your energy. Try this. End each day this week by asking one question. Where did I see evidence of my impact today? Jot it down, write a quick note. At the end of the week, review what you've written and see what emerges for you. This small daily habit can create big clarity over time. And to support you, I have created a free resource called Ride the Waves, a reflective guide for impact-focused teachers. It's filled with prompts, reflection pages, and strategies to help you deepen your thinking and your practice. So you can grab that in the show notes. You'll find the link down there. So this is just the beginning. Over the next 3 episodes, we'll unpack each of these mind frames, starting with I evaluate the effect of my teaching on student learning in episode 7. If this episode got your wheels turning, forward it to a teacher friend or a teammate. Reflection is powerful, but it's even better when we do it together. And hey, don't forget to come say hi on Instagram at crobin.kids, or take a look at my website at crobinson.coaching.com. I'd love to hear how this mindset shift is landing with you. You're doing the work that matters. Let's build on purpose, not pressure. Until next time, keep reflecting, keep growing, and keep building your community from the inside out. I believe in you. You got this. Have a great day.